Hello, my name is Anna Michniuk, and I'm very happy for doing this workshop for you. Of course, I think it will be better to do it stationary, but because of the COVID-19, we have to work in this distance way. So let me a moment because I have to prepare my presentation. Okay. And we've got offline child coding. First of all, let's take a look of this. What is the plan of our presentation? Oh, one more thing. Okay, now it will be better. So, plan of our presentation, plan of our something like workshop, but I know without you it's not a workshop. So, first of all, who am I? Then, elementary education in Poland. I describe you shortly our elementary education system in Poland. Then I will tell you something about why did we decide to teach coding in Poland, then how to teach coding offline, and I show you some examples. Okay, so let's start. As I said, I'm Anna Michniuk and I'm here because I'm participating in the Erasmus Plus for Staff program. This is my YouTube channel for kids. You can find it movies about paramedics, about Poland, about the earth, about dinosaurs, about fairy, about, for example, penguins. So if you know some Polish families here, all Polish students, you can share it with them. The movies are in Polish language, but I think in future also the movies with English language or English subtitles will be on this channel. The channel name is Ciocia Ania, Film edukacyjny dla dzieci, so it's Auntie Ania, educational movies for kids. I live in Gorzów Wielkopolski in Poland. It's in the west part of my country, and as you see, Gorzów is on the river. The name of the river is Warta, and this is a quite lovely place to live. Okay, as I said, I live in Gorzów Wielkopolski and it's a capital of Lubuskie Voivodeship. I work in Gorzów Wielkopolski and in Poznań. I'm a teacher, lecturer and also a fan of new media. I get my PhD diploma in 2018. My dissertation was about new media in Polish schools. I interviewed school headmasters and also I analyzed the questionnaires from students, teachers and parents. I was focused on new media in school administration, teaching learning process, using new media by teenagers, I mean exactly 15 and 16 years old, in their free time, and also I focused on how schools use new media to keep in touch with the local institutions. First thing about education, elementary education in Poland, how does it look like? When we thinking about kindergarten, we have to say that in kindergarten each group has one teacher. The education is integrated. Kindergartens are often open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. In Warsaw, sometimes the kindergartens are 24 hours open because parents have to do their job in shifts, so they need support in carry the children. City government decide which kindergartens are open during the summer holidays because it is important to take care about the children when the parents are at work. 5 hours per day is free. for children. Mostly their hours start at 8 a.m. and finished at 1 p.m. Extracurricular activities are payable and take place after 1 p.m. Last year of kindergarten is obligatory, so when the child is 6, it is obligatory for children to go to kindergarten. It could be also be a class 0 in the elementary school. We call it zerówka. What about the elementary school? So there also is a one teacher. We've got integrated education. All subjects are theoretically together. Why theoretically? Because there is a one teacher, and he teaches all subjects, but children has got different books. One is for science, one is for language, so they are theoretically together, but they are divided in some way. Sometimes PE and foreign language are teaching by different teachers, because not every teacher has the same diploma. Now we've got some different curriculum, and the older teachers can't teach PE or foreign language. The lessons in elementary school take place by 20 hours per week. From them we have 2 hours of religion, 2 hours of foreign language, and 3 hours of PE every week. We have descriptive assessment for the end of the semesters. Also, there we have either letter or number grades in the current grade, but it's common in third class. Yes, before that we've got just feedback, all the descriptive assessment during the whole semester. Schools start on 1st September and finish on 3rd Friday in June, usually. Okay, why did we decide to teach coding? So, coding is very important because it helps to develop logical thinking and creativity. Moreover, coding languages change very quickly, and so thus the world is changing. So we need to adapt children to cope with change. Preparing for future profession also is important if we are thinking about coding. Moreover, learning to code can emphasizing the importance of communication, because when we are work together, when we communicate with other, we can find better ideas, we can solve the problems better. Thanks to cooperation with others, we can achieve more, as I said. By analyzing various possibilities, we look for solution, and we learn from mistakes. I think this is very, very important. We learn by playing with the use of various everyday objects, as you will see in a moment. So, how to teach coding offline? Well, coding is everywhere. We can code in language lesson, nature, maths, art, and even PE. Only our imagination overwhelms us. So let's look at some examples of activities connected with offline coding. Yes, examples. Ozobot. I heard about it that you know Ozobots, but I prepared a short movie from the YouTube channel. Let's take a look on it.
These are Ozobots, and what's great about them is that they play with kids while teaching them the creative side of coding. I came up with it through watching my own daughters just immersed in digital tech, and I wanted to make sure that they were more engaged in the physical piece of it all.
Does this really teach kids how to code?
Yes, so it comes with an interactive three-stage system that starts off with the basic color markers on a piece of paper, where kids can just draw whatever they want, and the Ozobots would react to it. But because they can draw whatever they want, color sequences to an Ozobot is a code, and it will read it and it will react accordingly with speed codes, directional codes. It can even do the moonwalk. From there, we kind of go into drag and drop commands, so that teaching them sequential coding. Ozobots would read them all and play them all back for the child. And then finally, we give them the full ability to actually hack into the Ozobot, so they can actually take full control of the Ozobot's behavior. And the goal there is to kind of change them from just consuming technology to actually creating it.
How are you getting these into kids' hands?
We get them into their hands first through the school systems. We are in anywhere from kindergarten to high school with all of our lesson plans into the schools. The kids get to use it there, really get to experience the Ozobots in a structured environment, and then they take it back to their homes and they can start to create and do the much more fun stuff with them.
There's a lot of education tech out on the market. What do kids or what do educators like about the Ozobots?
It's simplicity. We can really onboard kids with just paper and markers. We can be offline, so to speak. For us, we do have that connected piece, but we start you off with just our color command language. And then we also kind of onboard you with interchangeable cool Marvel characters that can all kind of go mission-based and teach you all this kind of stuff.
Where do I get this, and what's in the starter kit?
So you can get this at some of the major retail stores, Barnes & Noble, Toys R Us. We're actually going to be at Best Buy in a couple of weeks. Also through Amazon on our own website. You get markers, you get lesson plans, and then you can jump on our website to get all these different missions and activities that you can work with. It also comes with an app which can onboard you all the different things that you can do with it.
Thanks so much for stopping by TechCrunch.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Okay, and this was short movie about the Ozobots. You can create many things using them. We can also use your smartphones, your tablets, but also you can use it with kids when you have only white piece of paper and some markers. Okay, so this was Ozobots. These were Ozobots. And now let's talk about coding with a coordinate system. And to do this, we can use everything that you get. You can use blocks, you can use some cups. The cups are very popular now in Poland, so you have to, not you, but your children have to read the squares, for example, do D2, and put the right color of the cup or the block to make a picture. Also, these are my group of little scouts, and I used this system when we were before the Nationality Day. We are talking about not many, but important people in Poland connected with when the Independence Day. I do some activity with coding. We used some chalk, and we draw the squares on the path, and it was very nice play, and we learn many interesting things about Józef Piłsudski, for example. Okay, and these are my kids, and these were there were graphic dictations. I will give them the key, so I give the names of the squares to color, and they have to color, and the picture they made was our Polish eagle. Okay, so graphic dictations is another example of training coding with kids online. As you see here, we've got a reindeer. Here we've got the key, and children put the right color in the right squares. And now I've prepared a heart for you, because aquarelli for me means just like heart. So I prepare for you a heart. You can download this heart from the folder that I create for you, but I will tell you about it in a minute. When you go to page domowenauczanie.pl, domowenauczanie.pl, you can do in very easy way your own graphic dictation. I will show you in a moment how to do this. So yes, you can prepare picture like this. Let's show how we do it. Oh, sorry, one more. You have to go to page domowenauczanie.pl generator, and here you've got many, and here you've got the squares. If you want to add some columns, you can choose it here. Yes. If you would like some lines, some horizontal lines, you can choose it here. Also, you can do your squares bigger and smaller. I think bigger will be better. Okay, these are color to use. This brush is to color specific squares. So I've got brush, I choose maybe yellow, and I maybe will do a sun or something like sun. Okay. Okay. Okay, I change the color, for example this, and this wider brush is to make lines, for example. You click and use your mouse and you do the line. Okay. This icon is to fill up some picture. For example, I will prepare maybe a little tree to show you how does work. Okay, and I use it. Ta-da! It's fulfillment now. Okay, so I've got a very easy picture. When we've got this point check, we've got print. We can print this picture with the key. So I click here. Drukuj means print, and look. Come on. We've got the squares and the key. So the children have to fulfill the picture. Also, we could use the second option, which is print the only picture. We click here drukuj, means print, and we got and we get only the picture, so children can name the squares which are colored, and they can name the colors which were used. Of course, when we want to delete everything, we click here on the reset. Yes, and everything is deleted. So don't worry about it. This is a Polish site. You can use it. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. One more thing, if you prepare your own picture to code and you want to share it with me, please put this in this folder. I give you a link. It will be closed after 3rd September 2021. You can find also there the hearts with I prepared for our workshop. So if you want to use it, just do it. Another thing that I want to show you is a marshmallow challenge. Maybe you know this marshmallow challenge. Marshmallow challenge is not only about coding, because this was created to team building, to create thinking, to work about out of the box thinking, to develop planning, and just for fun. What do you need for this exercise? You need 18 minutes for prepare the tower. Of course, the bigger tower is the better. You also need 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 meter of tape, 1 meter of string, and 1 marshmallow. It should be put on the top of the construction. The highest construction will win. This exercise is the best when you are working with a group of 4 people. Okay, so these are things which you have to give your students. These are some examples of my workshop with teachers in Poland when we do marshmallow challenge. Okay, these are from kinder school in Puszczykowo near Poznań, Poland. Okay, this is another example. And to show you more about marshmallow challenge, because I don't know if you heard about it or no, I prepare a video, so let's look at the video.
Several years ago here at TED, Peter Skillman introduced a design challenge called the Marshmallow Challenge. And the idea is pretty simple. Teams of 4 have to build the tallest freestanding structure out of 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 yard of tape, 1 yard of string, and a marshmallow. The marshmallow has to be on top. And though it seems really simple, it's actually pretty hard because it forces people to collaborate very quickly. And so I thought this was an interesting idea, and I incorporated it into a design workshop, and it was a huge success. And since then, I've conducted about 70 design workshops across the world with students and designers and architects, even the CTOs of the Fortune 50. And there's something about this exercise that reveals very deep lessons about the nature of collaboration, and I'd like to share some of them with you. So, normally, most people begin by orienting themselves to the task. They talk about it, they figure out what it's going to look like, they jockey for power, then they spend some time planning, organizing, they sketch in, they lay out spaghetti. They spend the majority of their time assembling the sticks into ever-growing structures, and then finally, just as they're running out of time, someone takes out the marshmallow, and then they gingerly put it on top, and they stand back and ta-da! They admire their work. But what really happens most of the time is that the ta-da turns into an uh-oh, because the weight of the marshmallow causes the entire structure to buckle and to collapse. So there are a number of people who have a lot more uh-oh moments than others. And among the worst are recent graduates of business school. It's amazing. They lie, they cheat, they get distracted, and they produce really lame structures. And of course, there's teams that have a lot more ta-da structures. And among the best are recent graduates of kindergarten. And it's pretty amazing, as Peter tells us. Not only do they produce the tallest structures, but they're the most interesting structures of them all. So the question you want to ask is, how come? Why? What is it about them? And Peter likes to say that none of the kids spend any time trying to be CEO of Spaghetti Inc., right? They don't spend time jockeying for power. But there's another reason as well. And the reason is that business students are trained to find the single right plan. Right? And then they execute on it. And then what happens is when they put the marshmallow on top, they run out of time, and what happens? It's a crisis. Sound familiar, right? Okay. What kindergartners do differently is that they start with the marshmallow and they build prototypes, successive prototypes, always keeping the marshmallow on top. So they have multiple times to fix and build prototypes along the way. So designers recognize this type of collaboration as the essence of the iterative process. And with each version, kids get instant feedback about what works and what doesn't work. So the capacity to play and prototype is really essential. But let's look at how different teams perform. So the average for most people is around 20 inches. Business school students, about half of that. Lawyers, a little better, but not much better than that. Kindergartens, better than most adults. Who does the very best? Architects and engineers, thankfully. And 39 inches is the tallest structure I've seen. And why is it? Because they understand triangles and self-reinforcing geometrical patterns are the key to building self-reinforced stable structures. So CEOs, a little bit better than average, but here's where it gets interesting. If you put an executive admin on the team, they get significantly better. It's incredible. You look around, you go, oh, that team's going to win. You can just tell beforehand. And why is that? Because they have special skills of facilitation. They manage the process. They understand the process. And any team who manages and pays a close attention to work will significantly improve the team's performance. Specialized skills and facilitation skills, the combination leads to strong success. If you have 10 teams that typically perform, you'll get maybe 6 or so that have standing structures. And I tried something interesting. I thought, let's up the ante once. So I offered a $10,000 prize of software to the winning team. So what do you think happened to these design students? What was the result? Here's what happened. Not one team had a standing structure. Not one had, if anyone had built, say, a 1-inch structure, they'd have taken home the prize. So isn't it interesting that high stakes have a strong impact? We did the exercise again with the same students. What do you think happened then? So now they understand the value of prototyping. So the same team went from being the very worst to being among the very best. They produced the tallest structures in the least amount of time. So there's deep lessons for us about the nature of incentives and success. So you might ask, why would anyone actually spend time running a marshmallow challenge? And the reason is I help create digital tools and processes to help teams build cars and video games and visual effects. And what the Marshmallow Challenge does is it helps them identify the hidden assumptions. Because frankly, every project has its own marshmallow, doesn't it? The challenge provides a shared experience, a common language, a common stance to build the right prototype. And so this is the value of the experience of this so simple exercise. And those of you who are interested may want to go to marshmallowchallenge.com. It's a blog that you can look at how to build the marshmallows. There's step-by-step instructions on this. There are crazy examples from around the world of how people tweak and adjust the system. There's world records that are on this as well. And the fundamental lesson, I believe, is that design truly is a contact sport. It demands that we bring all of our senses to the task and that we apply the very best of our thinking, our feeling, and our doing to the challenge that we have at hand. And sometimes a little prototype of this experience is all that it takes to turn us from an uh-oh moment to a ta-da moment, and that can make a big difference. Thank you very much.
Okay, so as you saw, it was very nice and funny video, and you saw that the children from the kindergarten are quite good in Marshmallow Challenge. Okay, What can also we use when we are focusing on coding online with offline, sorry, coding offline with kids. I use also Scout ciphers because they teach concentration and accuracy. And I will show you two examples, the chocolate in Polish czekoladka, and also I know you know this, the Morse code. This is the czekoladka, so the chocolate. Here you've got the key, here you've got the code, and here you've got the message. Ala, it's the name of a girl. Ala had a dog, and the dog name was Azor. Okay, that's it. And the second example is Morse code, and I think that you know it. Also, we can coding during PE lessons because we use, for example, Zumba, which is very good example. When we coming up with dance steps, we also use some kind of codings, some kind of key to do. Imitating a sequence of movements, we can create our own code. Moving around and design space according to the code, it could be also some kind of coding offline exercise for kids, as we see in this picture. Okay. Before the end, I would give many thanks to Anna and Lisa for working together and being open to my idea of coming here to Akureyri to learn more about your education system. It is an amazing experience for me, and I will not forget it for the rest of my life, I think. Thank you, Anna, very much. I hope we do a project or something together after my Erasmus scholarship. If you have any questions, please write to me on my email address. You can write me on anna.michniuk@gmail.com or michniuk at ajp.edu.pl. Also, you can find me on the Facebook, EduPower Anna Michniuk Ciocia Ania, on the YouTube Ciocia Ania, and also on the Instagram EduPower Anna Michniuk if you want to see some of my photos, also from the Iceland. Okay, and this is the end for my workshop, for my short lecture for you. I hope you enjoy it. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Bye bye.